Juliana Jackson, who I recently launched a podcast with, by the way. Juliana, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, Derek. How are you doing?
Hey, doing great. It's probably very late for you as well. What time is it?
It's like 10 p.m. It's still fine. I have a 5-month-old baby that keeps me awake, so
Okay.
it's fine.
All right.
I will
Well,
take any excuse to put some makeup on. So
I love it. Well, we're thrilled to have you here.
Thank you.
Juliana, if you guys don't know, is from OmniConvert. She's going to show you a little bit about the platform. I'm sure at the end of the presentation, she calls herself, and I think we all call her by now, the CLV lady for customer lifetime value. She is huge on LinkedIn, and I'm very thrilled to also be co-hosting the e-commerce growth series with you, e-commerce growth show series, whatever it's called.
Stories.
Stories, that one. I was looking for the
It's fine.
All right. With that said, I'll let you take it away from here.
Okay, so let me know if you guys can see my screen because I haven't used StreamYard before. So if you see my screen,
it's here.
Awesome. So I'm Juliana. Super nice to be here today. I will take, I'm going to talk a bit today about the strategy of becoming profitable. So yes, as Derek said, I represent the software, but let's not talk about the software today. Let's talk about strategy. So I'm gonna go as quick as I can through the e-commerce growth formula, what affects the customer lifetime value, segmentation, how to improve customer lifetime value, and the customer value optimization impact. This is me. I'm the chief evangelist for OmniConvert. I'm also the architect of the customer value optimization category together with Valentin. I am. That's why I'm called the CLV lady, because this is what I do. So right now in e-commerce, you can grow your business only in two ways. You either acquire more customers or you get the customers that you have buy from you more often. So obviously, this means that you have to switch from the mindset that growth equals traffic times conversion rate times average order value. That's not true anymore. That this formula is the old formula of e-commerce, which is very focused on customer acquisition. So that doesn't move the needle for the long term, and I'm going to tell you why. The real e-commerce growth formula includes a very important ratio, the ratio between your customer lifetime value and your acquisition cost. So basically, is the answer to the question, to what extent is it worth for me as a brand to invest money in acquiring customers based on how much they spend in my store? Because let's be honest, acquisitions are crazy. And 2020 exploded. The cost per marketing exploded. And ever since March, Facebook has been increasing the price for ads considerably. That made a lot of people, including Shopify, take a stance against acquisitions. That's why we're having so many fights right now in the media between Facebook and the third-party cookie and Apple, all because right now, acquisition is not a way to grow your business anymore. So as you can see, the prices, again, have went crazy. So this makes me stop 1 second and say this. A lot of companies, a lot of brands confuse growth with growth-generating factors. Growth means profitability. It means having customers that have a high frequency of purchase from you repeatedly. Growth-generating factors are vanity metrics such as revenue, such as traffic, such as AOV. So I'm going to give you an example today. This is a brand that we used to make in 2015 11 million in annual revenue. They were in 11 countries, had 90 employees. But look at their metrics, right? If you look at the revenue only, which is the problem that happens in the e-commerce industry, you will think that this brand is going big. But their customer retention was small, their NPS, the Net Promoter Score, was low, and the year-over-year growth was decreasing with 20%. This led this company in 2019, so in just 4 years, to make 20% less revenue, to be in one country only represented and have less than 10 employees. And that's why it's very important to not look at revenue to consider that your brand is successful. Because what happened in the B Fashion case is that they were treating all their customers the same. So not all your customers are the same. Some are better than others. Some bring more value than others. So it's in your best interest to consider identifying your ideal customer profiles. We did a bit of research in the beauty and the skincare industry, and we figured out, based on our current customers, that one ICP, one soulmate, one ideal customer profile, one VIP, as you want to name it, generates margin as much as 376 low-valued customers. So that means that you cannot waste your efforts treating low-value customers as you would treat the customers that are keeping your lights on, right? So let's go to the biggest, best needle mover for your brand to move towards being profitable. So, and that is transactional behavior. So as I was saying earlier, these are the news, right, in 2021 from Shopify. So Shopify advises brands to prioritize their existing customers, to invest in retention, to treat customers differently. So it's very important for you to understand that in order to treat customers differently, you have to segment them, right? So this is the most efficient way to look at customer value and understand customer value, and that is RFM segmentation. I'm not going to go too into deep right now, but RFM segmentation means segmenting based on recency, frequency, and monetary value. So your customer's transactional behavior. Based on how they buy from you, you will know how much they are worth to your business, right? So doing this customer segmentation based on RFM, you will identify groups of customers in your database that have different transactional behavior. So they might love you more, they might not love you anymore. So it's very important for you to segment your customers and understand what is the relationship that they have with you based on how much they spend and how frequent they buy. So I was talking to you about the ideal customer profile earlier, and this is the soulmate right here. So these are your most valued customers, the ones that are keeping the lights on and paying the salaries. These are the ones that are bringing you most margin. So this is the group that you should be focusing on, because this group needs a different type of onboarding, a different type of communication, and different type of treatment from your customer support and so on. They are, as I said, they are bringing the most margin to the shop and the most the highest order values. So using this RFM methodology, you can see based on the frequency of purchasing and the monetary value of purchasing, how are your customers behaving in relationship with your store. So there are a lot of customers that you will see. This actually is my favorite one, and I want to stop on this one just for 1 minute and say these are your newly acquired customers. But they are not just your newly acquired customers. They are customers that have spent on their first order a good amount of money with you. So what is very important for a brand to understand is that these customers have a high potentiality to become a VIP customer. So it's very important that they have a different type of onboarding than a customer that would have a monetary value that's low. So this group here, it's perfect to take into consideration and do a different type of onboarding and a different type of treatment with them, because these are the ones you want to retarget for Black Friday campaigns, from Valentine's Days, and so on. So it's not worth to look at everyone. Here you have your money maker. There are a lot of groups about that RFM generates for a brand, and I'm not going to go into deep on them right now, but you can definitely I will definitely share these slides with Derek. But let's look a bit on the revenue part and the margin part. As I was mentioning to you earlier, the ones that are bringing the most revenue are the lovers, the new passion, and the soulmates, your power customers. These are the three groups that you have to go the extra mile for, because these are the ones that are generating you the most lifetime value. And as I was mentioning to you before, you can see here a breakdown between these groups, and you can see how the lifetime value is so high that all these other groups don't even matter. So how to improve the customer lifetime value, right? Because it's becoming a buzzword, and I hate that, because that's my nickname, but it's becoming a buzzword. So how do you get out of the comfort zone of a buzzword? You got to change the mentality. So everything is happening and ending with the founder's mentality. So there are two types of company, especially in the beauty and skincare industry. So there are companies that are customer centric, and their main focus is customer behavior and working with the customer behavior to draw amazing experiences for all their customers based on how they purchase, based on how they how frequent they buy, And it's a game changer, because the companies that are customer centric are the ones that are actually profitable. But then you have the companies that are more product centric, and this group of people that are product centric are more focused on the features, the products, and discounts. And they define success if they look at things like cost per click or traffic and revenue. So it's very important, if you want to go and grow your customer lifetime value, to change your mindset. And obviously, you have to monitor what matters. So to be able to undergo this trip into optimizing your customer lifetime value, you have to calculate some metrics and measure them every day. One of them is the customer acquisition cost. And this is a tricky one. So if you want to calculate your acquisition cost, make sure you take into consideration things like overhead, like salaries, like how much you pay for your marketing tools, everything that is included in marketing. So don't confuse acquisition cost with ad spend. The Net Promoter Score is very important to be measured, because this is the voice of your customers. This is how your customers really feel with you. Obviously, I wrote customer lifetime value 2 times, so you don't forget about it. You have to measure your customer lifetime value. You have to look at your margins, and you have to calculate your retention and average days between transactions. What happens is I brought a piece of our own data. And what happens usually in the beauty industry is that there is a very big drop after the first order. So if you have a new customer that purchased from you for the first time, it's based on the clients that we work with, there's only a 15 to 20% chance for the same customer to purchase from that brand again. So most drops happen after the first order. And what does that mean? It means something is broken in the customer journey. So what you should do is to look exactly at the average days between transactions and understand where is that drop in the user journey. And then once you know it, you are able to go to action and fix that problem. Because if you fix the gap between the first and the second order, your chances for a new customer to purchase again are gonna double. So it's very, very important to look at your customer journey. Also, data is amazing. It's everything. But without context, data is nothing. So it's very important that no matter what tool you use for your e-commerce analytic, is to mix that data with qualitative research, because you need to understand what is the context of that customer coming, purchasing from you repeatedly, or leaving you after the first purchase. So it's very important to correlate the quantitative data and the qualitative data. So each of these segments that you will discover through RFM segmentation, make sure you track the satisfaction and loyalty through the NPS and a CSAT score, customer satisfaction score. Make sure you look at the demographics. Make sure you understand what was the reasons that you want these customers, what are the main barriers, and why did you lose them, and what is the job, the most important question, what is the job that the customer hired your product for or fired your product for. So if you do this qualitative research, you will find out things that will shape the way you look at your business and customers forever. So doing the jobs to be done research, you will understand struggling moments. Why are customers hiring and firing your product, as mentioned earlier? What are the forces of progress and the triggers? What makes them buy from you? You'll also be able to understand what are your product issues, the preferred features. What is the pricing doing? How are people looking at your pricing? But also you can look at your experience from a service level as well. So all of this gives you insights. And having these insights, you can improve your customer experience. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to improve your customer experience, especially in beauty and skincare industry. So I have here, I got some very nice notes from Lorenzo. Lorenzo was working for Conversion Excel. So he worked with hundreds of e-commerce brands. So he shared some secrets with me today for you guys. So these are the biggest problems that he, in his work history, has encountered. So product ingredients are super critical in the decision making. So it's very important for a brand to make sure that they're explaining the ingredients properly. A lot of drops happen, and a lot of customers run away because of the lack of information that they find on websites. So it's very important to tell your customers what are your product's ingredients and how to use your products. Then a product can affect people's health, right? So the level of trust that your brand needs to provide is even higher. So do as much social proof as possible. So I found this great example from Glossier, and they are running a clinical trial. And basically, you can go on the product page and check their clinical trial. And this is very good because it gives you a very, very good confidence that this is a product that might be for you. Another thing that you should consider in the customer experience is to put before and after pictures. People will only relate to people. Products and science is great, but it's not a needle mover. So the needle mover is to have stories and share with the people stories of how others use their product and change their life. So personalization, clearly, after you gain all these insights, you have to implement it in your experience. So make sure that you are addressing everyone that might be interested in your product, but address them based on what you discover. So the last thing from Lorenzo is packaging. I have 3 brands here: L'Oreal, Anew, and Estée Lauder. As you can see, their cream packaging looks the same. If you wouldn't have the tag here, you would probably think it's the same product, especially the L'Oreal and Anew one. So it's very important to make sure you invest time and energy in your packaging and have a clear differentiation in the product and on the website, because it's very important in the decision making. So while you are fixing this experience, you have to, again, think about mixing this data, the quantitative data, with qualitative data. Do you know why customers leave companies? Usually, the biggest reason is because the customer believes that the company doesn't give a damn about them. And these are the facts. So any healthy e-commerce brand has to have a flywheel. You cannot rely on luck. They have to basically focus all their energy in mixing acquisition and retention in a great way. So you have to go from the default one where you just focus on demand generation, customer, and making money, to go and deliver better experience, better products, and increase your customer retention based on the customer's feedback. So it's very important for you to look at the pyramid of importance in terms of metrics and what you should be looking at. Again, the CLV and CAC ratio is the one thing that can tell you if your business is successful or is going in the ground. So it's very important to have this in mind for whatever you decide doing in your strategy. Again, the Net Promoter Score, very important to calculate it pre and post delivery. A lot of brands fail because they only calculated pre or post delivery. Your real Net Promoter Score is the delta between people purchasing your product and having time to experience your product. So allow people to have time to experience it, and then make sure that having this delta between pre and post delivery, the marketing expectations that you create with your ads, with your website, are met in the customer's eyes. Very, very important, because you always have to under promise and over deliver. Again, very important to monitor NPS per category, per brand, per product, and implement this into your services, in customer support, in surveys, in email marketing, everything. Now, once you have this qualitative data, it's very important to understand the buying patterns and the product assortment. So I had my friend Rishi from Frictionless E-commerce, who's the best person in e-commerce on product. So he gave me some insights for you guys today. So once you nail down what are your best products, what are your best categories, and your best regions where you're selling, just focus a lot on showing the benefits of the product, but also allow people to have time to see the benefits of your product. So the beauty industry is the most emotional one. People want to look pretty. People want to look good. People want to be healthy. So you have mindful consumers. So your marketing should be mindful, not mindless. So if you have a bestseller, focus on it, and focus on telling stories with your product that your audience can understand and can relate to. So applying this to your bestseller page, why do we exist? Why this product must exist? And showing the product can make your customers really relate to your value proposition. Because it's very important for someone when they come on the website to understand what you are communicating with them, right? So people are on the website and are too skeptical, too good to be true. They find expertise very sexy and very good. They root for people who beat the odds, so they want to see the before and after images. They are fascinated by surprising details, so make sure you surprise them. Visual animals, they need motivation to break status quo and break habits. They love personalized experience, right? And they like knowing they've stumbled into something rare. So you must resolve all your negative thoughts in your customer experience. Obviously, once you do this, and I promise, Derek, I'm wrapping it up. Once you do this, you have to focus on the customer journey. You have to focus on adding value to every touch point a customer has with your brand. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to support your brand long-term. This is the standard customer journey for an e-commerce. Demand generation, first order placed, send order confirmation, order is delivered. Then customers are blasted with discounts and promotions and sales and whatever. Only 20% of the customers that are encountered in this type of journey are going to place the second order. 80% of them won't. No one likes to be sold to. No one likes to feel like a transaction. So if you want to take it a step further, fix your customer journey based on everything that I told you today. Make sure before you send any email to someone, before you assign them to an automation or a flow, it doesn't matter what you use. If you don't track the experience pre and post delivery of a customer for that product, you could have the best email tool, the best automation, a fat Buddha on your nightstand, and I don't know, Carmen Electra selfies. It doesn't matter. You have to see if that customer is happy or not with you before you ask them for money. So, as I said, under promise, over deliver. And this is the journey to make things happen. Go from the formula, segment your customers, gather insights, gather qualitative research, find your ideal customer profiles, find their buying patterns, improve their experience, improve their touch points with you, make them happy, and nail down that customer retention. Reveal the product that I work for is free on the Shopify store until the end of the month. These are some clients, amazing clients that we work with and we are making happy, as per they say. And this is it. This is Juliana Jackson, the CLV lady. Bring more women into your podcast. It's a very big sausage fest in e-commerce. Bring more women in your podcast. And thank you. That was it. I haven't breathed for the last 20 minutes.
I love it. And thank you so much. And we've got here. Let's get, what was that? Your email address really quick. Say it to me.
It's juliana.jackson@omniconvert.com.
Okay, I'll just share it here with everybody in chat. And we've, of course, got the link to OmniConvert Reveal if you want to check out the tool. And Teresa says, you are killing it. I agree. Absolutely, Sophie. Thank you. What you hinted on, I was talking to my team. I was like, we got to make sure that Juliana talks about this at our retention event as well, because I think that it's like perfectly, of course, aligned with that too. Always amazing, Juliana. Thank you so much. We're going to move right into our next session.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.